Jerry, how do you balance excitement versus nerves before you see your team play for the first time every year?
Well, I think you just have both of them, and there's nothing wrong with that. It is exciting, but it's different because we know how impactful we would like to be with this team. We feel very good about our availability. That's our players. We certainly are iffy on Martin, but other than that, we pushed it up here and got it in pretty good shape as far as our players' availability and accountability out opening night.
Jerry, what can you tell us about the updated status on Zack?
Really, nothing that you don't know. The facts are that we've got a protocol. He will do the testing that's called for in the protocol, and a couple of negative tests over the next 2-3 days would have him available. It is nothing to compare it to because each individual has its own situation regarding this testing. As you know, we've had people. We've had people test positive and have false positives.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't more than likely the case, but I'm just giving you the reason I can't give you a firm answer.
Jerry, can you give us a timeline of this? Like, did it start? Was it Saturday? Was it Sunday morning? Friday? Like, when did you guys first find out about this? And the clock, so we know when the clock started ticking.
Yeah, we got our awareness Saturday.
So, from a time frame perspective, if it gets to the point where you guys are traveling to Tampa, will he be on a separate flight if he's not yet cleared, maybe just to get him there for the game time?
Not necessarily, but well, let's just see what today brings.
Jerry Jones joins us here.
You could alter it if you have a negative test today. And again, we are really, let me give you our experience. Our experience has been that we'll need more time, but that's not necessarily can't because the individual issues involved. You just can't really count on your experience saying in the third day this will happen. Can't count on that. But we'll have a good look today and see again what tomorrow brings. It starts to get real close today. So let's see what we've got today.
Jerry, do you think the COVID protocols are fair to the vaccinated players?
I think this. I think our protocols have served us well. We are doing what we should be doing, and that is reviewing those protocols as a league. We review them every day. We review them probably. They're a thing in constant evaluation, and so that you could very easily see adjustments. As we move into the season, you could see adjustments as to testing frequency. And you've got guys on both sides of the fence that would tell you that you're testing too much. And so if you've got a vaccinated team, which I'll be very candid with you, I do call a vaccinated team. If you've got all but one or two players vaccinated, I call it a vaccinated team.
Jerry Jones every Tuesday here on Shan and RJ 105.3 The Fan. We heard that Lael Collins had a full practice yesterday. Is this a lingering thing with these stingers, Jerry? How are you feeling about Lael's? He looked like he was in great shape when we saw him in California, that he had dropped some weight. But how are you feeling about his injury status heading into the start of the year?
I think we're going to have him and for the game. And you're right. That is I would call this a typical stinger, and these guys do usually play with them, tolerate it, play with them, have to tolerate it a little bit less. Then when you get a positive result, they play through it. That's almost trite to say it because, as you know, they're extremely painful.
Jerry, Dak didn't play at all this preseason. Zeke, a lot of the guys on offense took some time off. how much do you factor in rust to the beginning of this game in terms of the risk reward of playing these guys during the preseason and getting them hurt?
I will accept the thing that Russ basically the rust that's there, and I'd say that probably if you'd made every roll call and had been out there for every snap. On the other hand, I think anything that you did to take a veteran and have them ready to go game day as opposed to having basically risk that was worth it. In other words, you're being conservative is worth it because what counts is these ball games.
Jerry, how would you describe Tom Brady and his career and his greatness to someone who has no clue about football? You may think you're talking to two guys who have no clue anyway, but how would you just describe what stands out to you the most about Tom Brady's greatness over all this time?
I think the mental part, just how he has excelled and made what would be almost obvious adjustments in his game. The importance that knowing how to play the game, knowing how to play the position, to me, that's the impressive part of it. To say that he's average physically is way too much. He's much better than that, but he's basically taken our game, if you will, and shown everybody that you can play this game and within the rules and really play it and have that position make all the difference in the world. And he does that through just playing within himself, playing within the circumstances of the game. Again, sum it all up, it's the mental thing.
Did you ever think you'd be seeing a guy play quarterback at this level at the age of 44 with the way that health and medicine has progressed and developed?
Well, you make the point with your last part of your statement there. We have developed the ability to be, again, available at those ages. We saw some pretty impressive things over the years ago. We saw White Tettle play to a ripe old age, and so this position can do it. And in most all the cases, when you look back at some of those quarterbacks that played for many, many years, they did it for the very same reason. They mastered the game mentally.
Let's talk about your guy. How has Dak looked as of late in practice, and how are you feeling about him before Thursday night?
Well, he's really looked crisp. He's very decisive in practice. He does not look rusty. He basically, we've always known that if anybody could be what we've just been talking about, if anybody could get better as they move along, then he should be a poster child. He's the best I've ever been around at taking what he is trying to ingest mentally and during the week, taking it to the practice field, and then that's what you see on Sunday. And it's been there. He's refined it. I look for that this season and this year. I mean, this game and this year.
Jerry, y'all freed up some money with Dak, restructured. Was that for something like immediate? Is that for rollover, a little bit of space down the road? What is that?
Yeah, that was both. That was really both. And it was looking around the corner, looking at what you're going to need as you move through, if you will, even this season, but certainly into next season. It was anticipated when we made the contracts. And it's a part of the contract that allows you to manage your roster. Yes, everything about it was expected.
Jerry, do you have a feel for the identity of this team or what you think it's going to be before carried by the offense, carried by the passing game? Do you want to be about balance? Do you have a feel for what you think the identity of these Cowboys will be this year?
Well, I think what you will see that you haven't seen are big plays, and on both sides of the ball, really on all three, the special teams included, big plays. we all know it's trite to say you need them to have a successful drive. You need a big play in there. You need a big play on defense, a major stop, those kinds of things. Big plays. We've got athletes out there that can make the big plays, and I think they're a better prepared coach to make those plays this year.
Jerry Jones getting ready to kick off the season with us here on Shan and RJ 105.3 The Fan. Year 2 of Coach McCarthy. What have you learned about him from year 1, Jerry? Give us a little bit of confidence and scout report on Mike McCarthy after having him around for another offseason.
Yeah, he's you can't shake him. He's very genuine. He works. He's impressive in adverse situations. You can't shake him. He's been there, done that. You don't see him. He's not a know-it-all. Not that others might be, but you just have somebody that the players believe in, that I believe in. And you really, he just makes you feel like, especially in light of how we started last year, I think he handles adversity well. It's proven he's a good man to be in the foxhole with.
Jerry, so many people have been raving about Dan Quinn as the new defensive coordinator. How much more comfortable do you think your players are defensively with the scheme and the way everything's running this year compared to last year?
Yeah, it's dramatically improved for what you want. He is an outstanding coach. He's an even a more impressive individual. He's no surprise. I'd been hearing that about him there in Atlanta with his head coaching as well as before he got to Atlanta. He's no surprise. And I think we've got him at the perfect time. He's, of course, had that experience. He's a student of the game. He sees how offenses are evolving, so he does have some imagination about him and working with our players. And we've got the talent and the positions and the quality of talent that he's using to implement some, if you will, new approaches. I think all of this is good. He's got enough experience that if you hit, swing, and miss, that you're not going to panic. Those are the things that come to my mind.
Jerry, it seems like the conventional wisdom on this Thursday night opener is that the road team is kind of being fed to the Lions here, right? Like, you're playing the defending champs. It's historically the home team has kind of dominated this. Is this a game that you guys wanted to play in? That you embraced the idea of playing on the opening night with the Cowboys brand?
Well, is it obvious? Yes. It's a great way for us to open this season. And we have so much to gain by having a good experience this Thursday night. So much to gain. These kinds of things are really what the doctor ordered for where we are. Everybody wants to win, but to get to open this NFL season in these times, the COVID time, to get to do it with challenges, we're coming in as drawn up. We're coming in with some challenges, and they have to do many. In most cases, or in this case, with the times we're here, the COVID factor. Then to sit up here and play a team that really pulled it off in a unconventional way last year, and really proved something with how the year they got out of their quarterback Brady, and then us be able to step up here right in the middle of all of this and start our journey. It's a great opportunity. It's what it's as the storybook writer wrote it.
Any final preview or tease of Hard Knocks this evening with anything? You going to be in the helicopter again or taking in any more Whataburger?
Well, there's going to be a shot or two of me watching the last practice, but watching it from my office of all places, and I remember when I walked out to the practice field at Valley Ranch, the first time I walked out, there was that air-conditioned tower overlooking the practice field. And I thought, boy, this isn't Spartan. What's going on here? And it was for the great Tom Landry. Well, I realized if that luxury was good enough for Tom, I guess it worked for future people interested in the Cowboys. So this took it to another level, getting to watch that practice from sitting there in your office, which I always wished for when we were at Valley Ranch. We have now here at the Star.
Jerry, did you feel like Hard Knocks was a distraction in any way for you guys?
Not at all. It's there. Everybody's aware of anything that's going on, really, but it's there. But I'm such a believer in that attention at the drills, at the practice level, causes the players to practice and push even more than if it weren't there. And that's always offset any type of distraction thought. And the answer is no, not at all. I've never thought that. We were the first team to have the full-blown camera in the draft room. I think people do better when they know a lot of eyeballs are on.